Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the Scottish Sim guy here, and here we are on another farm build. This one isn't on Kinleg this time, it is on Drumard. So not done a build or really explored this map at all. Just thought I'd jump on and do a farm build. And behind me is the farm 2. Across there in the distance there is farm 1, and we're going to head down to where the shop is. So if you do know the map, we're going to head down to that area where the shop is, and I've built the farm down in that little town. It is just past the shop. Once we get there I'll show you where it is on the map. So we're going to turn right just in here, and this takes you into where the shop is, and lots of different sell points. So we're going to jump up in here, and we're going to head just into the little village here. So your shop is in there on the right hand side, and as we come down through this little village here, there is a little entrance here into a field on the left hand side. So this is where I have chose to do my farm build. So this is field 20, I think. So hold on, we'll just jump on and we'll double check that. So we'll get onto the map. So yeah, that is field 20. So here we are here. So that's the road we came down there. That is farm number 2. Farm number 1 is here. And we're deciding to basically build a farm in field 20 here. So this is where I'm actually going to do it. It's right on the edge of the map, because that's the edge of the map right there. Though those fields are in colour there, only this little small portion here is actually available. So I think the plan is, and don't quote me on this, but PC players will be getting a slightly bigger version of the map at some point, or if they don't already. Obviously it'll be like a 2 times or a 4 times map, so that's why it gives you all this in colour. Because when I first jumped on, I went, oh, that's a fair sized map, but we've only got a small square in the middle. So this farm's built will be built right on the edge of that the map there. So this is where we're going to build it. So I just thought something a bit different, coming in through a little gap in the houses there in the little village. Is ideal little place to be able to build one. So with the load curb there and the entrance into the field, I thought that's where I'll do it. So this is where we are going to do the build. Going to try and see if I can do it mostly. I know with this map, which is a good thing about it, which if I jump on to construction and show you guys, is that there's a lot of sheds being made available through the map. So these ones here are the ones from the Highlands Fishing expansion, which I've used on my builds in Kinleg. And then these ones here. So from that one there, the green one at 25,000, these sheds here are all available in the map. So they're to that 10,000 one. So there's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. There's 10 sheds being made available. So I'm going to use a mixture of these sheds being made available by the map and the Highlands DLC, and see how I get on. So that is the plan, and we'll get a farm built in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back in my van. I'm going to disappear, and we will catch you when we've got the farm built, and we'll do a little tour. Alright folks, we'll take you up and show you the actual build. So you'll kind of notice a difference kind of right away as we start to drive in. So basically I built the farm on field 20, and we've taken on the grass field just before it, so that kind of field there. And it was just kind of hedge with wee bits of fence, and there wasn't really anything round about it. It's like a proper stock fence or I've walked the dike or anything. So what I've done is I've used the dike from the Highlands fishing extension. So basically made that there, put that round there and made it into a complete field rather than bits of fence and hedges and bits missing. So we'll head down through the gap in houses here and take you down and show you the actual farm. So just in here, and you'll see it here. I just couldn't get the wooden, not the wooden gates, but metal gates with the wooden posts from the dike to fit across there. So I put these in from the British gate pack, but if you do know the British gate pack is the gates don't go at 90-degree angles, so ideally if they were the gates that fitted across there from the dikes, they would just go down there straight, but these gates come back on themselves, so when you've kind of done something like that, you end up with the gate going through the dike. So it's a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. Those gates fit perfectly across there. The other ones were just a wee bit too narrow, the double gates, so when you put those gates in, they always end up going back on themselves a bit, which is not the best when you're trying to put them right up against the side of a building and then they go in through the building. But yeah, apart from that, they are brilliant gates. So here we are, as you come into the farm. We've got the farmhouse here on the right hand side, and I've kind of kept this really tight, very small tight farm, a bit of space out the back, but kind of right here at the start this is very tight indeed. So basically what I'll actually do is I'll just jump out and I'll walk around. So we've got the house here, little gap in the dike here to go through into the garden. We've got a greenhouse there, we've got a whirligig with our washing, and a wee table and chairs. I never put too much decorations in the house, in all honesty. It's a small garden, I didn't want to go overboard, but I could have put a bit more effort into decorations in the house, but I was getting on a bit in time. So as we come into the farm here, we kind of got two areas to go. There's the cattle shed up there, which has got dairy cows in it, and then we've kind of got an area here with lots of sheds and a silage pit up there. So kept this really tight, and ideally when you have to go up there at all, you actually have to get your head right up here and then get yourself reversed round in there. So for putting the bit of grass in the pit that I've put in there, I had to do that. For putting bales, straw bales and hay bales in the shed, that's exactly what we had to do as well. It's tight, but it's doable. So that was with a 28-foot trailer. We managed to get round there quite easily. So we've got kind of two sheds here. This one on the left is from the Highlands DLC, that you've seen me use quite a lot in Kinlake. So we've got straw blower, we've got a crone header, a crone mower, and we've got a Kuhn fertiliser spreader. And then on this side we've got two Sammy tractors. So we've got our smaller silver 130, and then we've got a larger silver laser, it's a 170. So these are the two tractors that's basically being run on this Irish farm. And then we've got our racks here, that we've got some of our implements for our telehandler. So our telehandler, you'll see here in the pit, is buck raking some silage in. So we've got a JCB TM 420S with the dual wheels on it. That's by Ross N Mods. You know, he does a lot of JCBs, so that's from them. And here we've got our shear grab there. We've got our 6 metre seeder. We've got a 4 metre power harrow, and then we've got our class combi baler wrapper. Now across here we've got our grain shed, so a little tight getting in, but you can get everything in. Throw up into the silage pit and reverse back for the bigger stuff, but in all honesty, the combine and the header both reversed right up there and round and into there, no problem whatsoever. So we've got a class Lexian combine 510, and then we've got our class chopper there. So we've got a Jaguar, I think it's an 870, is it? Yeah, 870. And then we made this little area. I didn't know where to put the grain set up for this farm, and I was going to put it outside at another bit and have it outside, and then seen how big this shed was inside, and I was like, I don't need all of this shed, so I placed this all in here. So if you have seen my builds that I've done in Kinlake since the DLC came out, then you'll know that that dry iron bin setup is from that DLC. So and it is a decoration, so I've stuck the decoration down in there, and then this is the addable trigger mod, and I basically put that onto the side of that grain bin, and that gives you somewhere to tip your grain, and it looks like it's going into there, all through the dry iron into there, etc, etc. Fuel tank just sitting in there, and then in here is our straw and our hay. And now you might think that it's really, really tight and about the yard, but to get those bales in there, I basically managed to reverse the trailer all the way along there into the shed, and then I basically just used an auto load trailer and I sat them off there. So though it looks tight, you can actually get about the yard quite well. And then this little bit of spare ground there, just stuck some tyres and decorations and that down on there. Now, it's kind of on 2 levels, the farm, so then it kind of takes a little run up the hill. Because this field wasn't, it's not level at all. It's on a slope. So we've sloped the ground going up to here, and then basically levelled off this area where this shed was going. So you kind of got a ramp at this side of the farm, and there's actually a ramp at the other side of the farm as well, and you'll see that when you go round. So the farm is basically on 2 levels. So we've got a dairy shed in here. This again, and as I use a lot of MS Modding's livestock sheds. In all honesty, MS Modding has got some absolutely brilliant livestock sheds out there for sheep and for cattle, so that's the ones that I use. This is obviously a new one. This is based off of a real life shed from a Scottish YouTuber. If you know who he is, then you know who he is, and you'll have seen that shed being used. And yeah, so then we kind of made it really tight going down the side of this shed here. We've got our grain bin there with that for grain or feed for the cattle, that is sitting there, a couple of IBCs over there, and then we come down the side here. So with this being right on the edge here, I couldn't get this kind of lump here away. I don't know why it was going, so I basically painted it with rock colours and made it a rock. So that's what we did there, and then ran round here. We had all this levelled off, and then we kind of sloped this area in, so you'll see it was on a hill, completely on a hill, coming all the way from the front up to there, so it's smoothed itself off. So I had this all levelled, placed the shed, got everything the way I wanted it, smoothed off this side here, and then started placing down the dry stone dike, and made this into an area that was big enough to be able to get in and out the shed with the feeding wagon there. So we've got a slurry tanker there, and we've just got some decorations posted about, and a bit of dirt and a bit of grass just to give it that feel of not being absolutely perfect. And then we have our bale trailer here, so some bales sitting there and a bale sitting down there, and then we've got some bins here, whether for fertiliser or for seed. Though we do have fertiliser and seed in the shed as well. We could probably have lime in one of them for our lime spreader there, and then we've got our Joskin cattle trailer. So we'll just nip down here, and we've got obviously our sheep shed in there, and then down in here we've got a kind of area here for a bit of junk and a bit of stuff. So we've got our 2 silage trailers sitting there, we've got our Crone rake sitting, we've got our Cavernaland cultivator, and we have our Lemkin plough. So that's what we've got sitting outside. You know, not everything sitting in sheds on farms, so basically decided to make a little area, because I wasn't going to, this was just basically going to be a field, and I went, you know what, I'm going to set some stuff outside, because what farm doesn't have an area where there's a bit of junk and stuff sitting outside. And then down here we have a couple of IBCs sitting, and then that gate that goes through the dike. With a little area for washing down, so we get pressure washer and IBCs and things sitting there. We've got another shed for my DLC sitting there with our little workshop area in it. And then I had this kind of, obviously had to ramp this area down. So when I ramped this area down, it kind of left this, so I kind of smoothed it off. And I stuck some of the decoration bales in there. They're from a new decoration pack, it's just been released. It comes with those bales, the singular bales, a bucket and rubbish and something else. I think there's like 4 things in the pack. It will be in the description. I will stick it in the description for the video. And I've got the manure heap just sitting right in there. And then these 2 sheds here are from the Highlands DLC. Put them together. And again, my favourite thing to do, getting that cattle crush inside this, like the last build, running the race up there. And we'll just jump in through here, and then having these areas set up. So obviously this shed comes with a milk tank. And the way it worked out is I just put it inside the shed, and I've kind of built a wall down there, put a little gate there to gate it off, so when you're working your cattle round in here, they're not anywhere near that milk tank. And then, yeah, so gives you a little area to work the cattle. You can open that up there, and then get your cattle coming through there and into this area. You don't need to bring them out there. So yeah, really like this wee farm. Really nice little setup. Jump over the gate there and over that one there. So yeah, just little tight area for coming. Why can't I jump over that? Am I going to have to open the gate to get out here? Yes, I am. So yeah, little tight area to come in. So I was like, well, what am I going to put in here? Is I'll put the fertiliser and the seed in there, and then I decided to put the agri-spread lime spreader in there, and I just stuck a Joskin cattle trailer in there as well, and I've got a dung spreader sitting there, and then a dung grab and at the midden there. So yeah, nice little build. Really enjoyed building this, in all honesty. So what I'll do is I will stick it up, go into construction and go up above the farm and show you. So here we are, entrance in from the little village, coming past the house, and then showing you how tight that little yard is in there with those sheds there. So really nice and tight, but it works really well. And then going into the area at the back there, showing you the cattle sheds with the dairy cows in it, and then a little area round the back there with the tanker sitting, through into this area here, the sheep shed, round the back and into the dung midden and into these sheds there, and then you've got access into that shed there. So yeah, really enjoyed this little build. Yeah, it's I might play it, I'm not entirely sure. I think if I play it, I'll play it off screen. I've got enough stuff going on screen now. That's really needing to get on with it. So yeah, I really have enjoyed this build. So I will, as I said, put a list of everything that I've used, and there's not going to be a massive list, in all honesty, apart from I will write that the sheds are from the Highlands DLC, and then other sheds are built in the map, and obviously the silage bunker and the manure bunker are both from the Highlands DLC as well, so there's not a lot of mods to actually to put down apart from basically the decorations ones and the silo ones there and there. Apart from that, there's not really a lot of mods because everything's found in those two DLCs, including the decoration of the grain bin and the dryer there. So it's been a simple build, but it was quite hard to start out with and how I was going to get it laid out. Obviously started with a house as I came in and then started with that shed. Knew I wanted that one across from it to make it tight. And then when I brought this shed out and put it like that, I went, yep, I'm going to put that one there. And it just seemed to get flow right round there. And then the thing was, how am I going to do this area in the back? And I could have just levelled it all out as a one and made it all flat. And I went, no what, I'll actually just ramp that up. So ramped it up and gave all this to be sitting up higher than these sheds down here. So it's worked an absolute treat. So yeah, that's my little build on Drumard Farm. A map that I've never really played. I never played it on 17 at all, in all honesty. So I kind of missed out on it there. I know it was Mr. Sealy P's favourite map, and he was actually playing it for a bit on 17 before 25 came out, I think. Or it might have been when 25 was out, and he actually went back to 17 to play Drumard, and he done a few episodes on it for the YouTube channel. So it is good to have it on 25, and yeah, it's a cracking little UK-Irish map. So apart from that, guys, this is it. That is my farm tour of my farm build on Drumard. I hope you have all enjoyed that. I hope you can take inspiration from that. Seeing some absolutely brilliant builds on my Discord. A few people have really shown me some amazing builds on there, and some of those builds, they've replicated certain parts of my builds, and some of them have taken certain parts from certain builds and made it their own as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Another absolutely amazing build on my farm build section on my Discord from Simulation Station. He's done another build on Kinlake, another cracking build. Yeah, so there's a few absolutely amazing builds on there, and I've actually been tagged in a video on YouTube that I haven't got round to watching yet. That was an absolutely brilliant build that was kind of copied from one of the builds that I did as well. So, and I've actually seen one on the Facebook page that I get tagged in that is they've built a replica of one of my builds on Kinlake. So yeah, I love kind of seeing that stuff and seeing people put their own spin even on my builds. So yeah, let me know what you think of this build, guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. If you want to hop over to Discord, then come and join us, show us your builds. You're more than welcome to stick all your stuff up on that farm build section in there and show us your builds. But apart from that, folks, thank you very much for watching another farm build here on Scottish Sim Guys YouTube channel, and we'll catch you all in the next one.